What's up, everyone? I'm Chris Holmes. I'm here with
Isaac DeBose.
and here's another episode of Next Level Thinking where we're going to talk about fear and mentorship. You want to hear this?
1, 2, 3, hit it! Watch me! Watch me! I got it! Watch me! I got it! Hey! I got soul and I'm super bad. I got soul and I'm super bad.
Welcome back. We're going to be talking about today on fear and mentorship. So I want to get your opinion on this. Like, what do you feel about fear when it comes to everyday life and the obstacles that we may face, doing our daily tasks?
Great question. I feel like fear, in a lot of ways, distracts us and keeps us from reaching our full potential. When really, there's no reason for fear. There's no point in fear.
And that happens all the time. Like, you can be wanting to take on this great goal or just travel or like go to a different state that you've never been to, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you get excited about it, you start feeling like, well, what if I ain't got the money?
And then what happens is you don't go. And so if you were to try to go and didn't go, the results would still be the same. So there's no point in fear. At least try.
Yeah, and then that's the best thing you can do is try, because you never know. You may, go there and have the time of your life, or you may have a learning experience. But
Absolutely.
Go ahead and try, because if you never try at all, you'll end up having regrets. And then the worst thing you want to have is like, what if I would have went? Or like you want to go to a different location, and then you saw your friends going, saw how good of a good time they had, and you were like,
Absolutely.
I should have went.
Absolutely. You can even think of it in terms of something like sports.
Mm-hmm.
If you are afraid to take that last shot, right? If you're afraid to take any shot, the results are going to be 0 points. So whether you take the shot or not take the shot, at least try. You can at least score. But if you don't, you know the results already. So it's no point if you just try whatever
And when
you
you
want.
talked about shot, I want to go to another example we all know, Michael Jordan.
Absolutely.
Can you, I remember one of his commercials, you talk again over and over about the amount of times he was trusted with the last shot
Right.
and missed.
Right.
But he wasn't afraid to at least try.
You gotta take
because
the
he knew
shot.
his team was looking up to him. This is the time and the moment.
Yeah.
They're we need this win so we can continue the momentum and have the chemistry still going. So
Absolutely.
how would it have looked if Michael Jordan would have just passed it off?
Look, man, you got to take the shot. Whatever it is in life you want, you got to go after it. You got to go for it. Me personally, I live and stand by the word of God that says I can do all things through Christ. So there's no point in me being afraid to try. So you got to try. You got to take the shot.
And I want to tie in, that comes in with faith.
Absolutely.
Like when you have faith, you just try, because you never know. Your biggest opening or opportunity probably would have been there. I remember looking at this illustration where they had two people in a diamond mine,
Okay.
just chopping away underground.
Right. I saw it.
And the person
I
was
saw it.
getting closer and closer, and he was just getting frustrated. He was like, "Forget it, I'm going
Stop
home."
just too soon. What if he'd have just kept
on going, and
a
it
little
was
bit
right
more.
there.
Absolutely. And we stop too soon also. Whether it's fear or whether we get tired or whatever, but you got to keep going. You got to take the shot. You got to keep going.
And that reminds me when I went to another event. They say your biggest opportunities when you can fight through that, through your fear, through being tired, through
Right.
being exhausted. When you just want to just say, I'm done. If you just keep pushing, that's when just the floodgates just flood up.
Yes, sir. And then when that does happen, the celebration is so overwhelming. You have such an appreciation for what you were able to do because you tried it and you didn't stop. And it's just, you feel magnificent being able to accomplish something, knowing that, there were struggles, that other people was afraid to try it and to take the shots. But here it is, you persevered and you didn't quit and you didn't stop, and now you can enjoy the fruits of your labor.
And then on top of that, you just encouraged a magnitude of so much people, because they may have went through that exact same situation, but when they see visually that you did it, and this is why I always say share your blessings, share your story, because you never know whose lives you may be touching.
Right.
I know there's a saying keep things to yourself, but spread your blessings. It's you don't want to have all that information and encouragement, momentum, because you never know whose lives you would have touched if you just showed that it was possible.
No doubt.
And now the next topic I want to talk about is, I know something that's pretty much home to all of us, is mentorship.
Mentorship. There is a purpose for everybody on planet Earth.
Yes.
And, you know, everybody has a wealth of knowledge. You know, people have been through things. People have seen things. People have, you know, discovered some things. And if you are somebody who is trying to do something, you have to understand somebody out here has done it and has some knowledge on it. So it would be ignorant and even foolish for you not to try to reach out to somebody who has done it to kind of give you some insight on it, you know, because nobody knows everything. And if you have such a mindset or the big head to think that you don't need anybody, the pride will definitely go before your fall.
And you will never get to what you could have been just because of pride.
Right.
And that's what pretty much stops us from a lot of things.
Right. And then on the flip side, you know, if you are somebody who has been there and done that, you know, it's a little bit negligent on our part not to try to reach out to, you know, some young brother or sister that's going through things and tell them, look, hey, I've been there. And they might not listen, but at least you can try.
We all had the moments.
Some knuckleheads. You might not listen, but don't let it be because you didn't try. You know, so we all have something to offer. You know, we all have something to deposit in young minds, and the worst thing we could do is die. And the wealth of knowledge that you have, the information that you have, is going to die with you if you don't share it, if you don't
now
plant
that
that
right
seed.
there is deep. Because imagine the amount of people that you could have touched.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But let's say if Einstein would have kept all his information to himself. Let's say if the person who created cars would have kept everything to himself. You wouldn't have cars out here or electricity.
Listen, man, I don't like to walk.
We make it convenience. So, like, you know, that's how we as a society and as a people progress. From, like, passing on that information and knowledge. You know, so many people, I mean, look at the textbooks. This didn't just come out here out of nowhere.
Right.
People, you know, explored the world. They took their experiences, wrote it down to a textbook because they knew in the future their kids, when they read and become educated, they can find information, and now they have like a foundation.
Yes, sir.
But don't stop there. They take that and be like, I wonder if we do this slightly different, or what if we add that? And that's how we progress all together as society. And
absolutely, that is a huge incentive of itself to want to spread the wealth and knowledge that you have, because once you die, your legacy is what you have deposited. So if you never mentor anybody, if you never plant that seed, then everything about you is going to die with you, including your name, your legacy, that knowledge that you have. So spend time mentoring somebody. And like we said at the beginning, on the flip side, don't get so big-headed that you don't accept this, you know, mentorship. Everybody is not after you. Everybody is not meaning you harm. Sometimes,
or
you
as
have
I
to
say,
listen.
Like every person in your life is like a page in your book.
Right.
And you just like learning. They may be there for a season.
Right.
Or they may be there for a lifetime.
Yeah. But you gotta listen.
Yes.
My dad used to say all the time, son, you gotta eat the meat and spit out the bone. In other words, he was telling me, no matter who is speaking, you can learn something from anybody and everybody. But if it's something that is destructive or something that does not pertain to you, don't worry about that part. Spit out the bone. But that you can use, eat the meat, spit out the bone.
And that I strongly agree. And that was an excellent analogy, you know, where we put it. From the person that may be homeless, from the person who's like, you know, high in leadership, or the person that's like, may even be having a havoc on society, but every person can learn from. You can learn from that havoc person, like not to do this. You shouldn't treat your family like this, or this is not how a man or a woman should treat their family. Every person is here for a reason and a purpose.
Yes, sir. And everybody ain't gonna listen. But, you know, once again, bringing it back to a personal level, if I can reach or affect or touch one person, my name is going to live on. My legacy is going to live on. The things that I stand for is going to live on. So, yeah, I'm 100% for being mentored, and I am 100% for spreading that on and passing that down to the next generation.
Yes, very well said. Well, I think that's overwhelming amount of information, and that we can pretty much share and go on for days, months, even years. But share this information. Don't let the discussion just stop in this video. Share it to your friends and family. Discuss it, and keep learning, keep uplifting people, and just keep walking in faith. And don't let fear stop you from being what you are supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Every person out there has a dream, purpose, and a reason for being here.
Absolutely.
So again, this is Chris Soames, and I'm here with
Isaac DeBose.
and that's our episode of Next Level Thinking. Peace out.
Peace. Also, just a special shout out to the guy, Chris Holmes. Hey man, I'm really digging what you're doing. I really appreciate the hard work you're putting in. I want to let everybody know worldwide, please support Chris Holmes, not just because of who he is, but because of what he represents. There are a million people who sit down and are afraid to try new things and be an entrepreneur, but particularly in our community, we need to be standing up in support of this young brother. So I want to say salute. I want the world to support Chris Holmes. God bless you. I love you.